Hello, welcome back to Disco Elysium. It's me, aproustian, and I have not even yet quite finished my conversation with the deserter here, because there was that composure check. And so I want to go ahead and check my clothes, but also you might notice I have a buttload of skill points. I earned so much XP during that conversation. I guess because, we learned so much. I might even go ahead and just put one into composition or composure just to keep that, have that be buffed. Um, and then I should check on my outfits. Yeah, let's see if I've got anything that will help me. This will. Okay, so that's my jacket and a non-jacket helpful things. My shoes. Awesome watchtower heels. Can't beat that. I guess. Yeah, these are empathy. And then anything else that is composure. Yeah, but that's that's the same slot as my other one, so I don't think that helps. Definitely not that then. -1 composure sucks to be poor. No, thank you. Okay. Let's see what he says now.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there.
Oh, interesting. I could ask about that. These are even odds. I'll ask this. Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
He shakes to life.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put of hatred.
More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
He shakes his head in grave disgust. Like, here's the thing about the deserter is part of him is sympathetic. He went through horrible traumatic stuff in the war, right? Because it's war. But then he found himself separated from humanity, and instead of attempting to reconnect, he kept himself separated from other people and also from his own humanity, I think, in doing that. Like, the way he is looking at the city instead of being, even when he wanders it, he's apart from it. And so he says he's fighting the class war, but like, he's looking at Martinez and he's not seeing, like, he's not angry at the big capital, the businesses and things that are the big conglomerates that have been using Martinez. He's still angry here at just the people living there, And I think he's lost sight of, obviously, that those ideals that he says he's trying to cling to, I don't know how you hold on to those how can you be in favor of the communal when you've separated yourself away from humanity? Alright, Martinez is the worst. How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries.
He points inland. Okay, now that may be valid critique. I don't know. I feel like it probably is. There have been a lot of racist people.
Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
Yeah, like, the deserter here has... It's not that he doesn't have any valid points, but, like, he... You know, a syphilitic murderer, like, he's mixing in this, like, idea of disease and morality, right? And I don't know. We'll let him finish. I won't interrupt.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. Intense, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
He keeps shaking his head with sorrow for the sight he missed. Yeah, he's just, like, angry at everyone. That all?
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cop parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins, too.
I thought Renee passed away, too. He's not there anymore.
Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Okay, then.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead.
Yeah, like, he's just... It's so... I was gonna say weirdly judgmental, but this feels so real. Like, I've seen, like, God, on Twitter, you know, people who talk like this, think like this, but it's just like, I don't know. Do I have questions about this? Sure.
We did good when we pushed him under the horse car. Until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
Yeah, like, he is just angry at the whole world. And not that there aren't things in the world to be angry at, but, like, it just feels such like this burning hatred. He breathes in, his breath heavy with hatred. You cannot make out a single word.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
I guess I'll ask about these things. I'm not really sure. You know what? No, I don't think I need to know any more of the deserters' opinions on these things. I feel like I've got the idea. And And I've been, like, this whole conversation, though, I'm trying to figure out. I think part of the issue for me is, you know, again, like, he feels very misogynistic, like the disco whores, you know, like anti-sex work, and it just, uh, yeah, I think I've talked about it enough. I don't need.
Glad. It's all gone.
He stares to that dust at his feet, gray and dirty spring grass all around. Okay, so we're back to this even odds. We'll go with it, and I've got some skill points if I need to try again.
For a 60-year-old man
Which I
with stomach
do.
trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
That's it? Squint at him.
He's clearly a drug user of the painkiller sort, prone to erratic hand gestures and malnourished. But that's it. The moment passes, and you say,
Yeah, stay put. I'm gonna bump this up again.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there. Aside
Oh
from
my
the rare,
God.
erratic hand gesture, smacking his lips and despondently staring into the fire, you can only see that he is old.
Okay. One more. And now, this time I'm saving.
The old man stares despondently
Okay,
at
let's
the
try this
logs.
again.
It's like he's forgotten. What strikes you about
There
this
we
gaunt
go.
man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild.
He is surprisingly okay.
Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animated? By what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system.
Dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile. Is this some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
Mr. Dross, are you on some kind of psychoactive substance?
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
He snaps out of staring through you.
You said you take painkillers.
The lieutenant follows your lead.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers because they have pain. Untreated illnesses, not enough money for a greedy doctor.
He is indeed very lucid at times. It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
Pure holodon?
I don't know what that is.
He shakes his head. Amphetamines?
Like some kind of decadent rock star.
He doesn't dignify it with more of an answer. Okay, well, are you okay? How's your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
He waves his hand, chasing something that's not there.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
Interesting. Alright, well, this is it. I'm not... Yosef Lilianovich Dross, you're under arrest for the murder of Ellis Courtenaire.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The old man's eyes fill with sudden, unexpected terror at the words. Where did I say he'd be taken to?
The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But
Do you understand, sir?
no, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Oh no. Okay. First say, does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but...
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches him there while I come back for you?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
He looks around with strange desperation.
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
Okay. What about this? Maybe I can ask that nitpicker to watch him?
This is no harmless old man.
The lieutenant shakes his head.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
He stares at something, who knows what, in the dust. Below the confusion and rage, a fit of jamais vu like yours? The thought passes, more pressing matters take its place.
No, listen. Listen now.
Okay, I am going to listen. Oh! Here we go.
There it is
Whoa.
again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it,
What?
something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Is this one of those cryptozoology things?
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
And then it's gone, drowned out by the lieutenant's voice. Shush, Kim, do you hear that?
What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
The old man's voice drowns out in a sudden gust of wind.
Your skin crawls.
What? Oh, that's
A delicate
really
tangle
cool.
of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Blink.
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
What is that? Point to it.
What are you talking about?
The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
He looks confused. You guys don't
The
see
stick
this?
insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
The Insulindian phasmid. That was the name of it. Oh, cool. It's beautiful. I love how it's still hard to see in the reeds, even when you know.
You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
If he can see it too, then you're not totally insane. But that would mean it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
Lieutenant whispers, then takes a step toward the giant anthropod. Is that being careful, Kim? Okay, inspect it. Holy cow.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
And they were gonna try to catch this thing in those tiny little cages with the locusts? Or did the cages just for locusts to be in and they were hoping they'd find it feeding out of them? I don't know. Oh, it's amazing.
Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Ooh. Whoa. That's good. We'll get to there. Listen carefully. This is the Insulindian phasmid.
It is.
The lieutenant whispers behind you. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping, slowly, painstakingly so.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
Kim, the flash is loud. It won't like that.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
He continues to pull the lens open.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
Okay, stop. Let me approach it first.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He has stopped fiddling with the camera, but does not put it down.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
I have the pheromone. I can approach it.
I don't think the pheromone will do anything.
His whisper turns to a skeptical hiss, but he has stopped now.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
We'll say something to it. You
A
exist.
sudden chirrup fills the air. The walking stick moves its whole body, limbs working independently of each other, like the parts of a masterfully constructed machine. Something in its body language has changed, just slightly.
Okay. Okay. So, +3 from Lena's childhood experience, +1 for the miracle, way out in the west. So this is the miracle? Approach carefully. If I roll a fucking 1 and 2 on this or something.
Slowly, with your breath held,
1 and 3.
you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Look behind you. It's smelling me.
Maybe it is real. The pheromone.
The lieutenant's mouth is agape.
The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets.
Oh, I love the way it moves.
Breathing you in, Your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Raise the other hand too?
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
Huh. Huh. Okay. Sure.
Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like structures still pretending to be plants rustle along on its joints. Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
No, no. Okay, I really want Kim to take the picture, but in case it messes things up, I'm gonna do it last. Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on my tiptoes and look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
Whisper, Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The lieutenant watches you apprehensively.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a white check. That makes me feel better. I spoke to the hanged man. I did not give up on the phasmid, and I know of parthenogenesis. Okay, Kim. Take the picture.
Okay.
With the slow ring of metal, the lieutenant slides the lens open and raises it to eye level.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The lieutenant whispers. His voice is tense.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
Oh, that's an amazing picture.
The sweat on your arms feels cold as ice, as if you're frozen as well, in the shadow of this great statue of chitinous marble.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper, as if the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks across the reeds in the sky, and you as a shadow before it. Oh my god. Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker.
The antennae hang
So
from
nervous.
a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying, resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Look at your finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
This is the worst idea. Lick your finger.
It tastes like sugar,
Oh.
very faint. The anthropod towers above you. Tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
I'm just like, I mean, if the camera flash didn't scare it off, I feel like I'm safe. But like, oh my god, it's just so like, ooh, you have to be careful. Carefully pet the scythe-like forearm.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
I'm gonna pull my hand
A
away.
sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening. Wave by wave from its stupor. Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think.
Okay, we got it.
Another
Back off.
shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Oh, I see. I could see the picture again. Okay, tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
Oh. Oh. I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Huh. If I tell you, what will
Then
happen?
I will tell you what it's like for me.
Uh. Is it wonderful? It's fire burning. It'll be a little poetic.
Fire? Where?
Interesting. The pale. On the horizon, pale fire. This thing we're both sensing is coming to an end.
That is your problem. Nothing ever ends for me. There is only room for 2, maybe 3 pictures in my mind. For me, it is a series of half-lit images. A kind of darkness being intruded upon. Transient, dim, moist.
So what if the next picture doesn't come? This creature is not the photographer, just the camera.
Being intruded upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never burn.
End of a narrow funnel, weightless. Huh. You know, I think I will say Harry is glad to be him, an incredibly sensitive instrument, which is very true.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and rotting glass. Eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
It was disorienting at first, but I am keeping my shit together.
That must be incredibly hard. The arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
Rooting for you. Like, that's so sweet.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me. because I'm just a leaf eater.
I mean, there is something kind of beautiful about that, right? I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
Hmm. I mean, more than just sugar and other things. The killer born to detect you. I guess the killer, we'll be honest.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
So there's something about the phasmid that he's getting, the deserter is getting, and that's the drugs he's on? You're destroying him?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
I see. So the phasmid has some kind of chemical something to keep people from noticing them, but the deserter has noticed. Or maybe it's not chemical, maybe it's a mental thing. Is this a dream? What is happening?
No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Where does this all come from, all this around us? The world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
Then all we can do is beat our fists against it, day after day, with no answer.
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Wait, so
So you look like a reed and you eat reeds?
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you accidentally eaten another reed, Phasmid?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
Oh no! Oops. That's right, because I think the one Lena saw was little. That's why they had little traps. So she saw a baby. What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
Did you take Clausier's documents?
Someone unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
Which is us, and now. Are you the miracle?
No, you are the miracle.
How?
The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while you are extreme, all-engulfing madness. A volatile simian nervous system, ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Oh. Damn. Is the pale climate change? Wait, the pale is human-made?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
The pale comes from human thinking? Worse how? We're not going to avoid it. We could avoid it, but we're not going to. Let's face it. Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch was back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget?
I can't blink. It feels like an asshole move. He said, please don't blink. But like, if someone said that to me in real life, it would be impossible not to. So I will blink.
Please, do not do that again.
Okay. Have I always thought this way?
No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation.
Okay. I have already forgotten the whole world once when I drank too much.
So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Okay, Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Oh, I love you, Kim. That is such a... It's such a grounded, pragmatic thing in the face of this, like, beautiful, otherworldly, eerie... no. I told you what it's about. Our fate.
I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
Alright. I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the most beautiful.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
Do it for the working class. Thank you, Insulindian Phasmid. Turn from the ruin, turn and go forward, do it for the working class. What woman?
You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. End it.
End it. I do not understand what it's telling me to do, so I will say I will try.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay. Okay. Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Wow.
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, Among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
The lieutenant looks north with this hand raised to his brow. It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
He shakes his head with amazement. What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He has put his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Yeah. Especially if the phasmid was interacting with him somehow. Okay, but first. Oh, I got a rifle scope and a helmet. So the items here, the Triangong and the rifle scope. Okay, these look okay. A common 30mm sniper scope attachable to almost any bolt action 446 caliber. Uses an older style non-dotted range finding reticle. Seaweed is still stuck in the lens and it's suffered water damage from its time in the phasmid's dowry. And the Triangong, the bolt action 446 caliber Triangong, is a poor man's sniper rifle. While not the most reliable of firearms, it is relatively precise due to a very manageable recoil, thus allowing the shooter to make multiple consecutive shots fast. This particular piece is missing a scope, though. Yeah, I found that. What about the rest of the phasmid's cache? Yes! I knew it! It stole the... It stole it! A well-traveled passport with visa stamped in it, issued by the Republic of Oranje. You found the phasmid's nest on the island. You can open it for more details. Okay, let's
This
do that.
passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
The lieutenant looks at it in your hand. Look at the photo.
It's Klasia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow.
What was this doing in the phasmid's nest? Well, it said it likes to play among the reeds and buoys.
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or...
I think the phasmid took it.
Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual. I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod.
It's true.
A curious octopus would do something similar, or even a cuttlefish.
Perhaps it was curious, like an octopus?
An octopus belongs to a very different class. It's not even an insect, it's a mollusk. But yes, I see your point.
It says Katarzyna Alazie.
She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Katarzyna Alazia was supposed to be her real name, where Klasia comes from. Remember? God damn it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be her real name. She lied to us.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us. One more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now.
The lieutenant smiles. What's her real name, then?
I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alazie, or Klasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
He looks east.
The winds are silent. The streets are empty of her. She is no longer in the city of Revachol.
Put the passport away. Okay. Phasmid's gone. Check up on the deserter now. Yeah. What are we gonna do with you, Mr. Dross?
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
The old man looks around, confused.
Something is very wrong with him now.
How could you not see the phasmid? He stares at the reeds and falls silent.
Mr. Dros?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking, like an addict of some terrible substance.
Touch his shoulder gently.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dros?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the... He looks at him, then you. I think it's the phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reeds for him.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dros.
He touches the man's shoulder.
No response.
Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden all these years?
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget it's there.
Mr. Dros, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds?
The old man stutters.
The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Yeah. I think he's addicted to that thing.
Like a drug?
He has displayed addict behavior, and not just to painkillers.
His pupils appear to be dilated. They still are.
Yeah, before when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Perhaps the animation is induced by something in the phasmid?
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
He takes off his glasses and cleans them. When he puts them back on, he's still staring at the sea. I talked to the phasmid. It said it's destroying him.
You should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
Maybe. Anyway, it's only trying to remain unseen. The degradation is a side effect.
A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, detective.
Oh, you know we won't be. Something hormonal in his relationship to the phasmid?
You mean pheromonal?
Forget it.
He does not look hormonal anymore. Motionless. His plastic cape flaps in a sudden gust of wind.
Yeah, he's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe.
He looks at his notebook.
I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
Right. Found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Show him the ceramic helmet. Oh, is this the helmet from the guy he shot?
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
I should look at that helmet.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the
Yeah.
would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
The Oranese passport?
No reaction. His breathing is slow, And he appears very old all of a sudden, around 80. This is an old man, at last. No longer a tin soldier, but the broken down remains of a man.
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the course?
The spirits.
He blinks and continues to stare at the reeds.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply. He's gone again.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
The detached scope?
I lost.
You lost it, Mr. Dross?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid.
The lieutenant observes the lens sparkle in your hand.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh.
Alright, I'm going to let you rest now, Mr. Dross.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Okay. Wow. Wow, I was not expecting that. That was incredible. And honestly, I think even the juxtaposition between my conversation with the deserter and the conversation with the phasmid is just like, the beauty of it, oh, it's just incredible. Incredible. Alright, that's all I have time for. I'll have to do more of this next time. Wow, I'm going to be thinking about that for a while. Alright, I'll see y'all the next time. Bye.